Hey, I hear a lot of echo, Pastor E,
Me
from
too.
your.
I'm
Yeah,
changing it. I'm changing it.
yeah. You
Hey
got
everybody.
you got the music loud and pumping. Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Kanish.
Hey Kanish.
I'm gonna need to close my door, so I will be back, Pastor E.
All right. Hey everybody, come on in. Come on in the room. Hey everybody. Hey, happy Tuesday. It is Dating God's Way, and we're so glad you joined us. Hey to all of our new viewers. We have quite a few new viewers, so we want to say welcome to
And
all of our new viewers here on Dating God's Way.
yes, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, share this stream, share with a friend. Tonight we're going to be talking about a hot topic, maybe even a controversial topic tonight. So
Yeah,
share.
controversy,
Controversial, yes.
controversy. And
Yeah.
I'm sharing now to the public.
All right. Yes.
Sharing now to the public. So yeah, so we're gonna have fun with this topic. We're gonna talk about chivalry.
Chivalry.
Yeah, something, um, something that um, I, I'm sure we heard, but I never knew the origins of it. Never did I really care about the origins of the origins of the word chivalry. Um, hey, Michelle, and I really don't think I ever really cared about the word chivalry until I looked it up. But chivalry has been something that somebody have, said, you have or you've been chivalrous today, or you are, chivalry is dead, or however they may use chivalry, and that's why I heard the word. So, you put it in context clues because, in elementary school and junior high school, they teach you context clues.
Good.
And so the context clues were chivalry must be something of being nice and polite to somebody, right?
Okay.
So, but chivalry, as I looked at it today, Pastor E, it was chivalry is was a term used for knights, like
Right.
knights, right? And them it was a attribute attributed to them because the knights were known as these fearless warriors, right?
Mm.
But chivalrous was also ascribed to them for their generosity, their their courteousness,
Hmm.
and these things, so um, it was a part of them being strong, brute and strong, but now is them being, um, you know, the other side of it, the courteous, the niceness, and kind of the willing heartedness to help others.
Hmm.
Yeah. Did you just share that?
I did. Absolutely.
I thought
Yes.
it was on me. I
So
thought you was putting it on me to share tonight. But go
chivalry.
ahead.
Does it still exist? Does it still exist? Should it exist? We're having a conversation tonight. Chivalry, does it exist? Should it exist? You in control, Pastor. I just
No,
was sharing the main screen.
no, you got it. You got it.
I
Oh,
don't know how to keep going, so that I don't have
you
it.
sharing my screen.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
You're so
because we're
smart.
on the same stream.
You're so smart. I want to go back. I don't want to go to the screen yet. Yes.
Yeah. So should it exist? Chivalry, should it exist? I think this is a great conversation to have because I do think that as Pastor Willie stated, that I don't even know if this really exists anymore. Like, do people still open people car doors or um do
Mhm.
people still put an umbrella over someone's head as they're walking. We saw this. Let's get real controversial. Hey, we saw this with our presidents. One of the things that they noted, I don't know if you realize this or not. One thing that the news used to do, CNN used to do, is they would always show the picture of President Barack Obama. This is not political, y'all, but President Barack Obama holding out the umbrella for Michelle and like certain people that was on the plane with him. He would be holding up the umbrella, and then they would go to a clip of President Trump and show like Melania like walking, and he got his umbrella, but she don't have one. And you know, it brings up a question of like, is chivalry dead? Like, is it an expectation? Should this be an expectation in a relationship? Got a few laughs out there. Should it still exist? Does it still exist? When is the last time someone was chivalrous towards you? And as we can see from our picture here, it's the man who is being chivalrous. Okay, just to be clear, it was the role of the knight or the man to show chivalry. And do women feel like as things have progressed that now the expectation of a man to be chivalrous has changed because times have changed? So we don't really expect this anymore. That's the conversation we're going to have tonight.
So before we go to the next slide, I want to give some backdrop of how I came upon this chivalry, right?
Yes.
So, you know, being a pastor of a large female congregation, you know, a young unmarried lady at the church, she had a party. No, I'm not throwing out no names here, and they throwing a party, and they was expecting somebody to show up, but this person didn't show up, and I told you, I said, wow, you know, even though this person had, maybe their excuse was valid, but chivalry, if you after somebody's interest,
woo,
I think you put your interest for that person beyond you not feeling like you should be there, because that's a sign of chivalry, is being somewhere on the other person's behalf.
An act of chivalry.
Act of chivalry. Thank you. So, you know, one of the things that I mentioned, I remember you had a book party when we was dating. You had a book club. I don't care for book clubs.
I love book clubs.
Book clubs. You love book clubs. And I didn't care for book clubs, but it was important for me to be there for you. So you can say, hey, you know, yeah, here's my man at the door, or however you was talking in those days, right? Somebody saying red flag. However you was talking those days, you know, but you know, I wanted to be that for you, you know, as a point of chivalry. And, you know, because I knew one thing, it would make you feel good. And then the next thing is, I know that for me going over there, if any other dude was over there, that whether I knew them or not, you know, I was putting my stake in the ground. So
yeah, we're going to talk about that chivalry as it relates to pursuit soon. But yeah.
Okay.
Ready to get into it?
Let's go ahead. So being chivalrous.
Got definitions tonight, y'all. Look at us.
Definitions. Look at us. And if you're on your mobile phone and you're driving and you can't read, the letters might be small, we'll go ahead and read it for you.
Okay, so chivalrous is a person who is courteous and attentive, and that can be described as chivalrous, right? So a chivalrous stranger picked up the packages Veronica dropped off and held the door open when she entered the apartment building. The word chivalrous originally described gallantry, valor, honor, courtesy. It was associated, as Pastor Willie told us, with medieval code of knighthood, right? But even though the knights are no longer with us, chivalry has survived in the modern usage. It usually describes a man or a behavior showing courtesy or attentiveness towards women. So the guy holding the door open for you with a flourish may or may not be your knight in shining armor, but his chivalrous act gives something in common with the medieval knights of love.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I think that point is kind of interesting, because now we're seeing that chivalry is not always flirtatious.
Here we are.
And sometimes I think chivalry can be misunderstood for, oh, that person wants me or whatever, and they just could be just be a nice person.
Yeah, I think there is a chivalry, an act of chivalry as it relates to men and women, and an act of chivalry in relationships, right? I think those are two different things. And while the term knight in shining armor, while, you know, we as women may feel like, oh, we don't need nobody come to our rescue, but the act of chivalry, I believe, definitely should be a part of a relationship.
Yeah.
Let's go deeper.
Yeah. You know, Pastor, you know, when I can remember beyond 20 years, when I was out there single, and, you know, and just trying to talk to a young lady and be like, excuse me, you know, and I'm trying to help them out, but they think I'm trying to holler at them or something. And I'm like, but you dropped $1 though. You know, they thinking I'm you know, being flirtatious or trying to hit on them, but I'm really being chivalrous. But they misunderstood, because chivalry has been somewhat abused, right? And so we're gonna
talk about that, because it's hard to be chivalrous in two points. Hard to be chivalrous when a woman is like, I need to do my own thing, but it's also hard to be chivalrous when you sometimes have men with the wrong intention.
Yeah.
So this makes chivalry complicated.
Yeah.
Because how do you know the intent of the other?
Yeah. Yeah, we call it. So chivalry with the wrong intent is really being fake.
Well, chivalry with the wrong intent. Yeah. Oh.
Like we used to say, we perpetrating a fraud.
Yeah. Chivalry with the wrong intent is often what Pastor E will call tonight is we'll call it penny chasing tonight.
Ooh, wow.
And often with the wrong intent. Yes, it's deception, and we're going to call it penny chasing. That's what usually causes a woman to disregard chivalry at times.
Ooh, did you have a nap today? Goodness grief. The filters are filter ain't filtering.
This is called dating God's way. So we want to just cut through some of the. We're cutting through some of it tonight. This is it, right?
Ooh.
We here together. Everybody woke up. Hey, y'all woke now? We're talking about chivalry. That's what we're talking about tonight. And we're talking about, you know, one of the things that I say, yes, we have a contingent of unmarrieds in our church. And one of the things that I say is, look, you know, we have to be, as the church, right? We talking about dating God's way. We got to be honest about what's going on in the world.
True.
Right? Because at the end of the day, you know, chivalry masked as something else. Well, what is it masked as? Right? You need to know what chivalry is masked as. And the person, I'm going to give him a shout out tonight. The person that helped me with this was my uncle. Okay. My uncle helped me with this concept that If a man is being chivalrous, is it really chivalry or is he chasing? Okay. And what is he chasing? Right. That is something that my uncle helped me, that men are normal hunters. And so what are they chasing after? And as a woman, you need to know. Somebody said they surprised Pastor Will. You need to know, when we're talking about chivalry, but when the chase is leading to something else, you need to be able to discern. And this time I'm not talking about spiritual discernment. I'm talking about natural discernment, the discernment of knowing the difference in between.
Yeah. So this chivalry, as a social idea, as society, is about respecting and aggrandizing women and recognizing that their attention was worth seeking or is worth seeking, competing for and holding.
Yes.
Yeah. So go ahead, Pastor. You say yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying yes. This idea of chivalry is about a man grandizing a woman. I mean, it's about the level of respect that he gives to the woman, and seeking her attention, that she was worth seeking, she was worth competing for, she was worth holding, she was something to fight for. And this idea, as we can see, is not really about chasing. It's about pursuing. It's about the pursuit of a woman. And this is a must when we go from dating, to courtship, to a place of thinking about marriage. Is with chivalry present? Is he really seeking after you? Okay, we're talking about men and women, but tonight chivalry has a huge man connotation on it. And I think when we say the man is the head of the home, or he's the head, he is also the head chaser. A woman should not be chasing a man. That is his role. It is his role to compete for, seek after the woman. What you say about that, Pastor Will?
And I'll say it from the man's point of view, that a woman have to put themselves in a position to be competed for.
Oh, yes.
How can you be competed for and you're not in the market to be competed for?
Yeah.
How do a man know who you are? Like the Bible says, a man that find a wife, finds a good thing.
Yeah, so on our slide tonight, yeah.
And that's what we say. That's what I say all the time. You hear me say all the time. You have to put yourself in a place to be found.
To be found.
Yeah,
to be pursued.
To be pursued. Put yourself in a place to be honored with chivalry.
Yes.
Don't think that this chivalry, especially in these days, don't think you are entitled to chivalry just because you are who you are.
Yeah.
But it is, but holding yourself in a high esteem, to be to have chivalry, to be competed for.
Yeah.
I'll say it like that. Yeah.
Yes. So we both have a role in chivalry.
We
both have a role in chivalry, and that role is defined. I know what society says now, but it is defined woman and man. I was, when I met Pastor Willie, a very independent woman. I had my own things, and I'm a really driven person. I'm driven, like go after your dreams type of driven. I always had like a little book of all the things I wanted to do. But realizing that being a strong, independent woman, I needed to be able to show myself as someone who was worth seeking, that I wasn't grandizing myself to be somebody who didn't need anybody, you know, putting on those type of hard facades. And I think that's one space where chivalry sometimes doesn't come into play, because you can be strong, you can be independent, you can be all of those things, but still allow a man into your space to seek, pursue. And that doesn't take away from who a woman is. It should enhance, it should lift up, it should really show the value of, not diminish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 So let's talk about some social ideas that challenge chivalry.
Okay.
Feminism.
Okay.
Women proposal. Should women propose to men? Equal roles. Everybody equal now. So women should be chasing men just like men chase women. What y'all think about it? Okay. Feminism, the idea that women should be equal. Okay, women should be equal. You know, somebody said it like this. I was reading something and somebody said, well, if women want equal pay, then women need to do equal part of the work. Okay. The idea that challenges this idea of chivalry is that, you know, if women want to be equal, then they need to propose and do all the things just like men do. What you think about that, Pastor Will?
Woo, man, I definitely disagree with women proposals. And that's controversial. So yeah, they're about to take a snippet out of here and put this on CNN.
Go ahead.
And then everybody gonna be tweeting.
Love it.
I'm gonna be trending. But no, I disagree with women proposal. I really think that, you know, that a man should step up and commit to the relationship and commit to having a wife, and, you know, and be the one that's leading the relationship into marriage. You know, you know, it definitely will show who's internally, not even external. It'll show internally who's really leading the relationship. You know, and it's almost a good indicator of, you know, how the relationship goes. You know, but I understand now, you know, looking at, you know, the generation that we're in, and how we came to this point of women proposals, is that sometimes, you know, if a woman don't propose, she ain't never getting married. Seem like, you know what I'm saying? Because our society, we talked about this before, our society do not promote marriage like it should. So and that's, I think, you know, and it's what I always say, is what I've been saying for the past couple of years, is that where there is no leader, a leader will step up, even if it's the wrong leader.
Yeah.
And when a man is not leading the relationship, then the woman will lead. She will lead. She will lead naturally, and she will lead spiritually too. You know,
Yeah.
and so I think it's a it's an indication of, you know, the courage and the commitment level that the man has when it comes to women proposals. You know, so
Yeah. Look, from a, you know, because we're talking about dating God's way tonight. That's what we're talking about, dating God's way.
that's what we're talking about.
A lot of these challenges to chivalry, you know, when we talk about being chivalrous, you know, and we're talking about a man in pursuit of a woman, you know, some of the things that we see in when the roles are reversed, what we see is that it is really a not just a role reversal for the fact of equality, but also trying to maybe get something out of someone who doesn't really want to give it, right? And the man's, if the man is going to lead, as Pastor Willie's saying, he has to be put in the position to do so. He has to put himself in a position to do so. And so, the expectation that a man is going to start chivalry after the woman has taken the lead, people don't believe in traditional roles anymore. And look, I'll be the first person to say this. I totally wholeheartedly believe in chivalry, and that grandizing and all of those types of things. But, when we look at roles within the relationship, that should have nothing to do with chivalry. In other words, me and Pastor Willie both changed diapers, made bottles, okay? It should have had nothing to do with, chivalry. It's like there is some confusion on the part of a lot of men and women about, a man, if a man is doing certain things, if he is, sharing the task of the house or the kids with the woman, then now they on some equal playing field. And, he no longer has to practice chivalry. She no longer has to practice submission. There are some ideas that are out there that have really been convoluted as it relates to godly relationship, because that's what we talking about. We only talking about godly relationship.
Right. I mean, if I lived on my own, I would be washing dishes, washing clothes, scrubbing bathroom. I'll be doing the same thing. Like, what I do in the home, and I think you make a good point, E. What I do in the home is not chivalry, it's my responsibilities, my role and responsibility based upon our household behavior, right?
Yes.
But chivalry is when you go outside and it's raining, is going out of my way with my umbrella and making sure you get from the car to the house without getting wet, even if it's an Uber, even when you're pulling up in the Uber and you tell me you coming home or I'm outside.
Do that. And I like that too.
That's something I don't have to go out, and it's nothing that we're going to fight about. You're not going to come in the house and be like, oh, well, you didn't come and get me out or whatever. Yeah. But it's something that I felt like, I'm gonna go out of my way to take care of you.
Yeah.
House.
Yeah.
Maybe the night later on, something to happen. I don't know.
Because it is true. Because chivalry is a part of the romance. Okay, yes. Let me help you out, fellas out there. Okay, fellas. Okay, chivalry is a part of the romance, and it allows the woman to see that they're being prioritized. Yeah. That's a part of the romance that is not in the bedroom. But it definitely leads to the bedroom. And this, we talking to marrieds right now. Okay, not talking to singles. We talking to marrieds at this moment. Yes.
Yeah.
Chivalry. Get in this comment section. Tell me what y'all think about this so far. Yes. We're about halfway in. Some questions, some thoughts. What y'all thinking about this topic tonight about chivalry? Chivalry.
Yeah.
So one part of chivalry as it comes to dating God's way is the ability to pursue my love's interests without expectation of reward or sexual intention.
Yeah.
So it's the ability to pursue one's love interest without any expectations, okay? Without any expectations of reward or sexual intention. This is, in reality, this is before and after marriage. Being chivalrous is not about what you're going to get in the end, because that takes out chivalry out of it.
Yeah.
Let
me say what chivalry is not while you was in taking a breath. And since we getting close, we after 8:30. Oh yeah, we after 8:30. Okay. Chivalry is not a booty call.
Here we are.
Chivalry is not that. Chivalry is not, oh, can I come over tonight? Oh, you.
I wanted to cook you dinner.
You like me so much that you come out your house at 12 o'clock at 12 a.m. and come see me. That's not chivalry. That's a call. Sorry. Go ahead, Pastor E.
No, that's it. Chivalry is not you pursue me on your terms.
Yeah.
To your interest, to your intention, to your agenda, right? That should not be the way in which a woman is pursued, right? And those lack of those lack of details with that pursuing that interest is really important, because when it comes down to, this is how a lot of women who are trying to practice purity, men who are trying to practice purity, how they get caught up in entanglements. Okay, entanglements. This entanglement we're talking about tonight is being entangled with somebody who is not your husband. Okay, not married to somebody else, but just not your husband, period. That you can get into those entanglements when we're not being pursued from a pure place. And as a single woman of God, as a single man of God, you should be pursuing, a man should be pursuing from a pure place. A woman should be being pursued from a pure place, dating God's way.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So chivalry is putting my love's interest first.
Yeah.
It's putting is what I was going back to that book party. It was, at that time you were my love interest. I didn't love you, but you was my love interest. I had an interest in loving you. And so it was putting you first beyond me. That looks like not only opening up car doors, but also going out of my way, because either you have asked me to do something that you could have asked anybody else, like when you needed that bookshelf moved out your house, what was it, a bookshelf or something? And and knowing you got an uncle and other friends, and knowing that I'm new to the scene, and so knowing there were others around that could have well assisted you, but it was showing you that that I was willing to put your interest. I was willing to put your interest beyond mine, no matter what mine was. And I'm sure I had plenty of other things to do that day.
Yeah, so chivalry is the ability, to, show that that person is a priority, put that person's love interest first. And somebody said in 2021, this is foreign. We're going to bring it back. We got to bring chivalry back. Because some of this, not in relationships, in marriage, is key. Is the ability to pursuit doesn't stop after you get the person. That's worldly thinking. That's a worldly way of thinking, that you just stop pursuit after y'all together, then you stop pursuing the person. Chivalry should last, shouldn't just be something that the man does to get the woman, but to keep the woman. Right? Yeah. Chivalry should be a part of the relationship. And it looks different. It goes both ways, but it looks different from a man and a woman. The man is in the place of pursuit. Okay. The woman is in the place of receiving. The woman is in the place of embracing chivalry.
And let me tell you that my chivalry game should be so good that even if the relationship was to end, that you're going to be remembering me and all the niceties that came with me, because my chivalry game was so good that you're going to be calling me back, because you'll see that, wow, nobody put me in front like that before.
Go ahead.
That's how good the chivalry game got to be.
Your game was good now, Pastor Will. It was good.
I know it was. I know. I mean, I worked hard.
Go ahead and toot that horn. Toot toot. Yes. Yeah, your game's still pretty good. You got to keep it up. After 20 years, your game's still pretty good. You got to keep that chivalry going.
Every now and again, it's pretty good. Every now and again.
So chivalry we talking about tonight. Let's get to some questions. Get to some questions. Let's get to some questions tonight. I got a question here. Okay. Before we get to our scripture, Pastor Will, let's go to some questions before we get to our scripture.
Okay, cool.
Let's see here. All right. So this was an early on question, but we're gonna get to it now. How do you know when it goes beyond chivalry and appropriate pursuit? Is there a line with this? Because we're talking about dating God's way, Pastor Will. Is there a line for this for believers? Where is the line?
Yeah, where is the line?
I think this is a great question because chivalry, remembering that as a woman of God, as a man of God, part of your standard should be pureness and holiness. Okay, here we are. Okay, sanctification, all of those things. And so in pursuit of a love interest, I have to remember that person has a main love interest. That's Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior. Okay. And so chivalry is also in that man's ability to pursue a woman and keep the boundaries, pursue the woman and not try to take her out of her relationship that she already has developed with Christ, right? Appropriate pursuit is the ability to be chivalrous without that expectation of, sex or reward or some other thing that takes that woman out of her pureness, out of her, boundary standard and vice versa. So I think that's where the line is. The line is, keeping chivalry in the bounds of purity.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement. And, appropriate pursuit is, pursuing you to a goal, and that goal is to become one, right? And so as I'm showing you chivalry, as I'm being chivalrous to you, I'm really, in a lot of sense, I'm being chivalrous to myself because I'm trying to become one with you through the sanctity of marriage.
Yeah.
Right. And so if these two become one, I have to treat you as I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And prayerfully, the same chivalry shown will be chivalry given back.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next question. All right. So one desire that I have is to marry a man who's a gentleman. And my thoughts are, I want him to not only be this way or chivalrous with me, but practice chivalry with all women. For example, if I'm walking into a building, he holds the door. If there are other women coming, he holds the door for them too. Is this a healthy way to think or something to desire in a man? And if not, why not?
Yeah. From the onset, I think, you want a gentleman, right? I think you're saying that you want a gentleman. And from the onset, that's great and good, right? But then when I dig deeper into this question, it's like, so are you, I know what I'm saying, but I'm trying to say it. I'm trying to say it. Is there something inner that's saying like, hey, I shouldn't be like this, or I'm saying this so I can loosen up my standards, so I can loosen up, so I won't be too insecure about having a man that's polite to all women, right?
Yeah.
Now, if my wife see me too overly chivalrous with somebody else, she's going to start questioning what's going on.
That's correct.
What chivalry? Okay, you're being it's one thing with being polite and nice, holding the door for everybody. That's courteous. Ushers hold the door for everybody. But if she see me going out of the way for somebody else, somebody car breakdown and they call me and I run out the house immediately, she's going to be questioning what's going on, why her.
That's right.
You know, and so I hear what you're saying, but I also hear what you're not saying.
Yeah. I think there is some. I'll tell a story. You know, Pastor Will, if you go to the church, you know this. Say Pastor Will have a women's ministry. Now, women love to get advice from Pastor Will. That is true, right? It has been that way before me. I'm pretty sure. Before I came into the picture, it was that way. And so, you know, chivalry, his being chivalrous towards other women had to change once he got a wife, right? That is true. That once we became husband and wife, his chivalry towards other women had to have some boundaries with it, right? Because as we stated at the beginning of this, everybody's intention is not the correct intention. Okay, everybody's where people are coming from. Everybody's not in a whole healthy space. Sometimes people can take that chivalry to the next level, and so I do think that it is a place that you have to be cautious of when you're in a relationship. You know, yes, a man can be chivalrous towards women, but also, you know, watching some of that behavior and making sure that you know, it's not opening no other doors in any other areas. They got to have caution.
You said it way better than I did. There you go.
You got to have some caution. You know, because I will say, this is one area where I feel like men are very naive. Pastor Will don't like this, but I'm going to say it.
I was just thinking. I was wondering if I was going to hit it tonight, but go ahead.
I'm going to hit it, Pastor Will. Men are very naive with this in most cases. Okay. That a lot of men think that, oh no, you know, she just being nice to me. And sometimes, y'all, that's not the case. I've seen it firsthand, you guys, that it is not the case. That sometimes the intent from the person receiving chivalry is to get with your man. And so this is a reality, okay? And so men can be naive in this at times. This is another thing in covering your husband, you know, covering your spouse is also helping in those areas where they may be naive, you know, where they may be naive to, you know, a woman is receiving that chivalry and she really getting into areas that she's not supposed to be getting into, or she's revealing areas, heart areas to your spouse that she shouldn't be because he was chivalrous. Okay, so you have to also, there is some, that's correct, Yvette, there is some, okay, when we have to watch out a little bit. Yes, we got to put the fist sign up. We do have to be cautious. And sometimes we have to be cautious for, hey, yes, another Mary, a long time Mary said, so naive. Yes, ma'am. We have to be cautious. Okay, we have to be cautious for our men and cover them at times when they don't see the things that we see. Okay.
Yeah. I remember we went to go see Layla Hathaway. You know, great jazz singer Layla Hathaway. Remember that concert, E?
I do.
And it was at the Howard Theater. And if y'all know Howard Theater, oh my goodness, it was one of the most chaotic.
It was
one of the most chaotic concert venues ever created. And we were they were bringing out some more seats because we paid for seats. So they had to bring out chairs and a table. And but it was so crowded, everybody was looking for a chair. And I was being nice and I don't know. Pastor E almost got in a fight with some woman, and the lady was like, "I don't want your man," and I was like, "Oh my goodness! Like, what is happening here? What is?"
First of all, I told Pastor Will, me and him came together, so he definitely is not about to give up his seat for the next 80 women. Sit down. We pay for these seats. Yo, Pastor Will, he is the sweetest. He is so sweet. But I'm like, Pastor Will, first of all, I done paid for these tickets. Okay, I done paid for these. I done paid for these tickets. You're not about to give up your seat for these next 80 women. You're gonna have this seat, okay? You're gonna have this seat now. Okay. And yeah, she got real riled up about that. Like he was willing to give her his seat. Oh, I don't care what he was willing to do. He came here with me and we married. Okay. So yes, yes, and yes. We Pastor Will is definitely very chivalrous. Mm-hmm.
That was just being courteous.
Right, which is chivalry. That was chivalrous. I'm to give your seat to all them women. No, sir. We ain't about to do it tonight. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So let's get to our last slide, Pastor.
Okay. I got to share it on the screen.
I got it. Go. So he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Yeah. So our main scriptural reference tonight is the man does the finding. Somebody put that in the comment section tonight, because I think we need to remind some people the man does the finding, the man does the pursuing, the man is in search of treasure. The Passion Translation says it's a treasure from the Lord. Mm-hmm. So the man is finding the treasure. He's the one who is pursuing. Okay, the man finds. And I think, look, yes, the man does the finding. Thank you in the chat section tonight, because that's an important point of a reset. Okay, a reset in this society is the man does the finding. He is in search of his favor. Okay, he is in search of his favor, because the woman should be bringing the favor of God to his life. So the man is in search for favor. Yes.
It unlocks the favor
of
your life, on a man's life. It really does. I mean, this scripture is so true. If it wasn't for Pastor E, I mean, for me finding my wife, as much favor as I have, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have it. And you know, a lot of people, well, it's some idiot, I'm sorry, but somebody went in on Russell Wilson, the football player, for expressing his love. Did you see that post today?
No.
Okay, so Russell Wilson expressed his love for Sierra. Isn't that her name? His wife's name?
Sierra. Sierra.
And he's saying that, you know, she's the most important thing in his life, you know, and he couldn't imagine life without her. And some dude posted, like, Russell Wilson, how can he say that? He can have any woman that he wants. Sierra is a washed up R&B artist, and Russell Wilson is worth way more than her. And like, how can he say that about her? And it's like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Russell Wilson found his favor beyond money.
Yes.
Favor beyond material things. He found his good thing.
His favor from God. Okay. Yes. The woman is a gift. She is a gift to. Okay. The wife is a gift to the man. And understanding that gift, right? Which, you know, Russell Wilson has tapped into, you know, understanding that gift that she is something that, you know, it goes both ways. A woman also has to understand that she is going to put herself in a place to be found. Okay. Yes. if you are single and you are unmarried, you should be putting yourself in a place to be found, right? That is a good, that's a good confession to make. I'm putting myself in a place to be found, And when I'm found, I want to be found as that treasure, as that gift, right? That's an important space for the woman to be in. Is I'm setting myself up to be that gift to be found. And how am I doing that? I'm making sure that when he is looking, he finds a whole woman. Okay. What I say whole? WHOLE. Whole. Yeah. Woman. That when he is looking, he's going to find a whole woman. Okay. I'm putting myself in a place to be found so that I am a man's favor. Okay. And I'm not his frustration. That's important, that I am a man's favor and I don't become his frustration. Amen. And I think that is I was just telling this story the other day, Proverbs, where it talks about it's better to live on the corner of a roof than be in a house with an angry woman. That is Proverbs, I'm gonna say 25. Proverbs 25. Okay. It is important that a woman is really a man's favor and not his frustration. That she is a whole woman who is ready to be found, who is ready to be a treasure, who is ready to be favored, who is ready to be praying for that spouse. So chivalry is not just the man needs to go do it, but the woman also needs to be in the place to receive it.
If I can go back to Russell Wilson real quick and that whole thing, I think Russell has expressed, in those little sentences, and then here we are. You have to decode what he's saying. Even though he's a millionaire, he has millions of dollars, which probably many of us would never see because he's a professional athlete or whatever. And actually, he won't see those millions after he retires, right? And so, but he's a millionaire, Uber sports star, and everything, which receives the criticism beyond money, the criticism of the world. Everybody, you got Twitter, Facebook, all the social networks. Whenever he goes on that field and make a mistake, he's criticized the most. He's the quarterback of a team, and he can come home. He's saying that my wife is somebody that I can come home and I can be vulnerable to, because I can't be vulnerable in front of all of this. All of this is tearing me down. All of this is really killing me. But I need somebody that I can come home to and be vulnerable to. Somebody that I can come and lay my head on their lap and they not judge me. Money can't buy you that.
Hey.
A stripper on a pole can't give you that.
Hey.
And so only that wife that you find that have those components can give you that security that you for your vulnerability. She would give you your security for your vulnerability. And so that's why I really encourage men to go find your wife, find your person that you can be vulnerable in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Yes. So I shared some scriptures with you guys, and Pastor Wood, that's a great, I think that's a great context that you've given us tonight about, how chivalry is, as we're stating tonight, chivalry is something that's the responsibility of the man, but the woman has to be in the place to embrace and receive the chivalry that she's receiving. And especially when that woman goes from woman to wife, then that woman has to become that safe place. Okay. Yeah. That safe place where you know that when you come to me, that not only will you find, as Pastor Will said, that security, but you will also find the safety of my voice. Okay, not the safety of my, or not the, I'm gonna tell you what to do. You need to do this, you need to do that, but you're gonna find the safety of my voice, the safety of my ear, the safety of we in this together. And that is the response to chivalry. The response to chivalry, I want to get into this for a minute, Pastor Will, before we close out tonight. The response to chivalry for a woman, the response to chivalry is, number one, is knowing, where the relationship is. Okay, so prior to there being we must have relationship definition. Okay, relationship definition. So before we get into the level of chivalry, we got to have relationship definition. In other words, just because somebody open your car door, just because somebody pull out your chair, does not mean they want to be in a relationship with you if you don't know them from, off the street. If they a stranger, they just being chivalrous. Okay? Even if they are a friend, until he speaks intent, as a woman, he's just being chivalrous. Okay, so that's one thing. Having relationship definition, that if if he has not stated a place of intent, that he wants to go deeper, he wants to be more than a friend, then it's just chivalry. Okay, it's just a man being chivalrous. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, don't make assumptions. Goes with the same point. Don't make assumptions. Okay, don't make assumptions. Okay, have relationship definition. Don't make assumptions based on chivalry. Okay, don't make assumptions based on chivalry. Chivalry is something that a man should do, period. Okay, it's something that a man should do, but don't make assumptions, relationship assumptions based on chivalry. But have the expectation of chivalry that if you are pursuing me, now I have the expectation of chivalry. Okay. If you are pursuing me, now I have the expectation of chivalry, that you are going to be chivalrous. And I think that having those clear lines is important. My last thing I would say is that if I'm the person being pursued, then I must be ready to embrace. Those acts of chivalry. Embrace them with my whole self and embrace them as a whole person. So
since we and because we are dating God's way, as you are embracing the chivalry, also put up your ears of discernment and discern whether it's chivalry or it's manipulation or deception. Is it chivalry?
I told you how to do that earlier. Yes.
Yeah. Is it chivalry or deception? Because remember, Satan, Lucifer, used chivalry to deceive Eve.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you really trying to get something from this or what? What's the answer? You trying to get something out of this, which we already talked about, what you chasing? What's the intent behind this call? So yes, we got to discern intent, where it's coming from.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's conversation on chivalry. Chivalry is not dead, but instead chivalry is necessary.
Yes.
Chivalry is necessary. It's a wonderful component of a godly relationship.
So men, young men, old men, unmarried men, you want to come to my class about chivalry? You just hit me up, and we'll establish a chivalry one-on-one.
Yes, yes, yes. Please sign up, you guys. Please sign up. So I don't have to what's that thing when you do like this? The wrestling move?
Drop the elbow.
So I have to drop the elbow on nobody. Okay, come on, get the Chivalry 101 going past it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So we got to drop no elbows.
Yes, yes, yes. Having real intentions. All right.
Have real intentions, yes. Have good intentions, have godly intentions toward the person. Yes.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you for your time tonight. Yes. Chivalry is necessary. Keep it up.
Keep it up. Keep it
You ain't
up.
Start it now.
Yes.
Get it going, get it going, get it going. It's necessary. Being courteous is godly. Get it going, y'all.
Get it going.
Hey, thanks for joining Dating God tonight. Enjoy this conversation. I still got our music going.
Yeah, this is our outro. Thank you guys for joining Dating God's Way. We enjoyed the topic of chivalry. Oh, next week, join us for next topic, situationship.
Situationships. We stay out of situationships. I'm gonna tell y'all already to begin with. Let's talk about situationships, y'all, next week. Situationships.
Y'all have fun.
Love you guys.
Go and date God's way.
Thanks for joining Dating God's Way.